Great to have you back on Ford Sports Money. And what better way to end our 100th episode than with one of our very own Ford valuations. Michael, it's really yours. You did the numbers on it. But this time it's NBA basketball. And the average franchise up 8%, but not the Golden State Warriors. They're up even higher.
Oh, Bob, Golden State Street, they're paved with gold. I mean, up over 30%. Hey, look, NBA Finals, the last two seasons, a new arena, the highest arena naming rights deal with Chase, around $15 million a year, plus a little something extra last season. The amount of playoff ticket revenue they had to return to the league dropped from 45% to under 25%.
So a little more money in their pockets.
Nice.
How much does it help them, by the way, just being in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, do you think?
Oh, it's great. I mean, look, their ticket prices are among the highest in the NBA. A lot of rich folk out there, Bob.
Yeah, and by the way, that new arena is going to be huge because you're talking about more luxury suites that will be sold, et cetera, and I'm sure the ticket prices will go up. The arena itself is in a great area.
Oh, yeah, and they're way ahead of schedule in terms of selling luxury suites and sponsorships. Huge demand. Only 2 seasons away.
All right, so we always talk about winning helps. We always talk about championships help, but not necessarily the case for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why?
Well, if you look at the Cavaliers, Bob, I mean, they spent a lot of money. They went way over the NBA salary cap last year. They had to pay a little bit of a tax, so they lost over $40 million last season.
All right, so, but they're trying to do some different things. Why aren't they kind of maximizing their revenues at least right now?
Well, I think what they're looking to do is really build a brand, become a champion. And that, along with the renovation at the arena you and I talked on the previous show, I think should be able to bring them towards profitability.
And you're not talking about just basketball. It's going to be other affiliate-related things.
That's the key.
Right?
They want to bring in more concerts and other non-NBA events to Quickens Loan Arena.
Okay, so let's talk about another team that didn't move on the list. It might surprise some people. That's the LA Clippers. Steve Ballmer paying a little over $2 billion, but is that probably why?
Yeah, I mean, look, his bid was about $400 million over the next highest bid. And there are probably some people that think maybe the team is worth $2 billion. I don't think he could sell it for more than that right now. One example was he was expected to get a new local TV deal. Some people thought it would average well over $100 million a year. Well, he recently agreed to new terms, and it's less than $60 million a year. So he paid a fat premium.
Yeah.
Look, 5 years from now, I'm sure it'll be worth it.
Yeah, it affects the bottom line, though. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. Now, winning means a lot, but it doesn't mean everything. Why are the Knicks and Lakers 1 and 2 on the list?
Market, Bob. Great. The two best markets in the NBA. The Knicks have the highest ticket price, $130 on average, non-premium ticket. The Lakers got that massive cable TV deal, $132 million in local TV money, the most in the NBA. And, if you look at, you and I always talk about merchandise tells the tale, right? What are people buying? If you look at the top jersey sales in the NBA, it's either in teams in huge markets like the Knicks, L.A., or those winning teams, the Cavs and Golden State.
All right, so I'm glad you brought up jerseys because there's going to be something new in the NBA, and they're going to try it for 3 years. It's selling those spots, 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch on the jersey, and some teams have gotten a jump on that.
There's only a few teams that have done it so far, and the price range has gone from like $5 million to $10 million. I think the Celtics were at $10 million. But what I'm hearing is that Golden State is looking into it, and there are people thinking that they may get $15 million or more. So, again, great market, as you pointed out, and a winning team.
Well, good news for the NBA, too, because when the news broke, Adam Silver, the commissioner, came out and said, hey, this could increase annual revenue $100 million. And, I mean, if you average all 30 teams by 5, 6, 7 million, that's well over $100 million.
Yeah. I got to take my shoes and socks off to count, but, yeah, I think you're right.
I knew that's how you did it. It was that or an abacus. Never use a calculator. Do want to ask you one final thing. We talked about the fluidity of the sports money index. I'm assuming that based on the NBA valuations that you've given us, that's probably going to change, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, what you're going to see is even some of the mid-tier teams, mid-market teams, like the Bucks, for example, because they're moving into a new arena, those values are going to go up. And the players have done very well because the players get between 49 and 51% of basketball-related income with that new national media deal that kicks in this season, $24 billion over 9 years. That's going to kick up the players' earnings as well. So the NBA, very good, moving up the sports money index.
And I would assume that they're in a good spot right now because they have labor peace. They have that CBA in place.
Huge, huge. One of the key things a buyer of any team wants to know is how much labor pieces are going to be, because that gives them a good indication of really how certain are those revenues and how certain are their expenses.